Day 6 on the Greenbrier River. Everybody's broken down. Bonnie's tying up a few loose things. Aquaman Island has been good to us. A little bit of rain last night, but not much. But the water levels, they keep going down, unfortunately. I was hoping the thunderstorms the other night would have given it a little bit of a bump, but it doesn't appear to. So we're just going to get everything wrapped up here. The next step is to drop in, and we got about, I guess, 10 miles before we hit Alderson. We're going to stop there for brunch / lunch, whatever it ends up being. And then from there, we're going to paddle on down, and today is the day we start hitting the named rapids. Aside from Tumble Rock, we'll be hitting Bacon Falls first. That's the big one. That's the one that everybody has on their mind. It's really not that much. Just get the line right. If you don't get the line right, well, there might be some consequences. But after that, Lindsey Slide, which is just a big river-wide sloping shelf. Nothing to it. You just punch the wave. I think the last time we came through here, Dirt Dauber's boat went completely underwater. Literally, for a brief moment, we couldn't see nothing but Dauber's head. But that's on for the day, and then from there on, we're going to camp. And then tomorrow is the finale, Brooks Falls. And Steve has committed to doing the meet, as have I. Bonnie, we're probably going to pull her out. I don't think she's quite ready for that, and I think she could do the middle line, but there'll be nobody out there with her, so I'm not going to put her in that position. So everything's looking good so far. I don't know what to think about the weather. The sun's trying to come out, but then you also have these weird clouds that look like they could drop rain at any time. So we'll see what the day brings. But we're going to have fun doing it either way.
And thus we say goodbye to Aquaman Island.
Yep. Leaving one of my most favorite campsites. It's been good to me twice now. I'm sure it'll be good to me again someday. Farewell, friend. And now we've got a little bit of whitewater to take care of. This is the section that really kind of, it doesn't, I'm not going to say ramps up to whitewater, but there's certainly more of it. Right around the corner here to the left, I think about less than a mile, there's a set of rapids. And I don't remember what the name of them are, but I know they were pretty fun. Right now Steve's leading out, Bonnie's in front of me, and we're on our way. What's that?
Or would that be 555? I think that would be 555, not 1020.
That would be true. was fun. I'm not sure why, but I seem to have a mental block when it comes to keeping a camera with me when we're out in the boats. But again, as we head up to Riverview Cafe, I have left it behind. I can say that the breakfast platter was excellent, and Bonnie's idea of getting a bacon cheeseburger to go for tonight's dinner was spot on. This was my second time visiting Terry and the gang at Riverview, and I highly recommend you doing the same if you ever find yourself in Alderson. All right, we're leaving Alderson. We just had a fantastic brunch at the Riverview Cafe. I got the waffle and eggs with a little bit of sausage. Bonnie got an omelet and a cheeseburger later. And Steve got a cheeseburger for brunch. So we're all fed up. We've got about maybe 14 or 15 miles until we get to Macon Falls. Now I'll tell you what, we're fighting about a 30-mile-an-hour headwind. At least it feels that way. So the sun's come out. I understand the temperature's going to be dropping throughout the day. Tomorrow's going to be the colder. But let's do this.
You feel like summer days to me, warm, tender, sunny rays. I hope that we are meant to be. You say nothing at all when we meet, yet somehow I know your history. Oh, come what may, I'm ready. Picture frames, lavender paint, they all live here within this romance. I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one. Some dusty dreams, and we seem to find common ground. Guess everyone's got their own sound. Never cared much about fitting in, what's right or a sin. But as you stand before me, I give in. Picture frames, lavender and pain, romance. I get the chance to stop the run and be the lucky one.
I'm gonna tell you what, you can definitely tell that there's a cold front moving in. We're hitting, I guess, blasts of air running about 30, maybe 40 miles an hour. Not all that makes it down to the water, but enough does to make it slow us down, let me tell you that. We were averaging around 5.5 to 6 yesterday. Now we're running about 3, sometimes under 3. So we're just trying to kind of hug the bank, break the wind, just make the best time we can. But yeah, this wind is brutal. Where's Steve?
Beside
He's
you.
behind me? Okay. So I'm just going to lead in. Y'all just follow me. Basically going to go center to right. You'll see some little ledges you got to zigzag around. And then you're going to run the right side down and through the bottom hole. At the very bottom there's a pool. If you go around the corner, you'll see a rock bluff like this on the left hand side, but if you look directly across the river from it, there's a little beach landing, and that's where we're going to stop.
So the beach landing is on the left?
The beach landing will be on the river right side when you go around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at Bacon Falls. And we're about to go in. Bonnie, stay about 3 boat lengths behind me. It's not a hard rapid, you just got to know the right lines, or it can, let's say, make for less than a good day. So here's to no swims and 100% success. Let's do this. When we started planning this trip, our buddy Dan was one of those going. He had an unfortunate accident a few weeks ago when we paddled the Chattooga, causing him to drop out. Despite the injury, Dan made the trip up and was able to capture some aerial footage for us. Thanks, Dan. Hope you get healed up. We'll get you back out here someday. And just like that, Bacon Falls is behind us. Everyone made it down safely with no swims, no broaches, just a sigh of relief and nods of accomplishment at the bottom. This is one of those rapids that you want to pull your boat back upriver and try it again. But it'll have to wait until next time. Lindsey Slide and camp 5 miles downriver awaits.
No, that's mine. That's mine. That's funny.
I think this is it. We have landed for our final night of camping at a campground I'm going to call Last Chance. Reason I call it this is because we're coming into Hinton, really getting into population. You can see a couple of houses over there. There's a highway, but those are mostly rentals. But there isn't much more you can do as far as camping before getting into Hinton. And then that really gets sparse because you're looking for the islands in between on the new river and whatnot. So we decided, I think this is the same place we stayed at last time, I'm not sure. It was in much better condition. It wasn't flooded out then. And now there's a bunch of tree roots exposed. So now it's one of those it'll make do type campgrounds. You can see Steve way off in the woods there, set his stuff up. This is Bonnie. This is myself. And we're about to settle in, make some dinner, and talk about the trip, because today we went through Bacon Falls, dry hair day, Lindsey Slide, dry hair day. Everything went almost perfectly. Bonnie took a line and she wasn't quite sure where she was going. She ended up kind of drying out on a stone. But other than that, she didn't go over. She maintained her composure and she continued on down and punched through the hole. So she did really good. What do you think about today, Bonnie?
It was awesome. That falls ain't no joke though. I was scared, but I did it.
Yep, she knocked it out of the park. Steve, he had a good time. I had a good time. Let's walk over there and see what he's up to. Steve, tell me about your day.
It was a fantastic day.
What do you think? Bacon Falls, overwhelming, underwhelming?
A lot of stuff going on there.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Had to all over those ledges. It was a bit of work.
Yep.
But it was fun. And,
yeah.
It was fun. I would absolutely do it again.
All right. What are you having for dinner?
I'm going to try chicken and mashed potato dinner.
Wow. I have never heard of that. Is that a new one?
I have no idea. It was there. And I said, I think I will try that.
I've never seen that. I'm going to have to get me one of those.
Chicken and mashed potato dinner.
Sweet. We're having bacon cheeseburgers from lunch.
I'll be over in a second.
All right. Okay, so that's the story. But everybody had a great day. Tomorrow is the big ending. I can't wait. Our most eventful day so far is coming to an end. The whitewater sections between last night's camp in Alderson, along with Bacon Falls and Lindsey Slide, gave us plenty of highlights to think back on. Lunch at the Riverview Cafe was exceptional, and overall,
this was the best day we've had while being on the Greenbrier. It's sad to think we only have one more day of water, but at the same time, finding a nice hot shower to rinse away a week's worth of river grunge sounds mighty appealing. Tomorrow, we wrap up camp for the last time and set our sights on Hinton to complete the navigable Greenbrier top to bottom. Breakfast at Kirk's, then 5 miles down the new river towards the takeout, but not before the grand finale, Brooks Falls. 2 years in the making, I've got a bit of redemption to earn. Soon time to ride the lightning.